you want to have the best healthy gut, you're going to need to know what's actually going on in there. This is part 1 of the Gut Health 101 series, and today we are going real basic. We're talking about digestion and breakdown. The question to keep in mind here: can your body actually digest and break down food properly? Why? Because even if you eat as healthy as you would like, your body won't be able to use what it's given. And these foods are very important when it comes to playing a huge role in your energy, playing a huge role in your metabolism, playing a very, very big role in your state of well-being. So today's agenda: what is digestion? Who are the players? What is the normal process of digestion? What do we see when digestion isn't working well? What are we looking for from a medical standpoint? And what are the realistic, doable tips for supporting digestion? Let's dig in. So what is digestion? We talk about digestion a lot, but do we truly know what that means? Digestion is a step-by-step process in which food or liquid is broken down into small particles. Making them small is very important because it allows your body to extract things such as nutrients, vitamins, minerals for later use. Who are the players? Let's meet your players. The organs on the stage here: our brain, our mouth, our esophagus, our stomach, our intestines, both large and small, liver, gallbladder, pancreas. The chemicals, these are just as important, and they're produced by some of the organs that we mentioned. A lot of enzymes from your saliva, your stomach acid, your pancreas, your small intestines, stomach acid, bile. There's a lot of folks involved in this, and that's why digestion is quite complex. What's the normal process of digestion? Most people will tell you that digestion starts in your mouth, but there is an extra layer to that. I would say digestion starts even before that. Think of the time that you are at a restaurant, you see or smell food, and just something in you just perk up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry. Those are your brains signaling to the rest of your body to get ready. Digestion starts in your brain, making sure that you are smelling, making sure you are seeing food, building up that anticipation to get everybody ready. So here's a quick breakdown of our digestion process. Ingestion: when you are eating your food. Propulsion: when you swallow the food, when food is being moved through the esophagus by a motion called peristalsis, which is almost like a wave-like motion to not have food come backwards but move forward. Mechanical and chemical digestion: when you are chewing, when stomach is churning food and passing it to the intestines as a chyme. And then when small intestines act on segmentation, which is almost like this rhythmic back and forth mixing chyme and a lot of the chemicals that we mentioned. Absorption: now this part, I'm going to save it till the next episode to dive in a lot deeper. Defecation: I think we all know what that means. So what do we see when digestion is not working well? Oftentimes it's because one or more of those processes are not working really well. Things are maybe on the back end, maybe there's too much of overreaction from the chemicals, so forth and so on. Maybe there's inflammation. That can create a lot of uproar in your gut, and it shows up as the common symptoms. The most common symptoms are these: bloating, feeling full really quickly, indigestion, gas, burping, nausea, sometimes even vomiting, heartburn, acid reflux, stomach pain, undigested food in your stool, changes in your stool like diarrhea, constipation, and that's your body signaling to you that they're having a hard time. So objectively, what do I as a naturopathic doctor look for? Most times there's a lot of different indicators. I will say oftentimes these are things looking for specific conditions or ruling out specific conditions. When it comes to these symptoms or poor digestion, it's really imperative to find out what is causing these issues, right? In terms of, if there are any sort of conditions or maybe infection or different causes that are causing this digestive uproar, we have to figure those out. Now, this is very broad imaging wise. Most times it's endoscopy, barium swallow, manometry, abdominal ultrasound, CT scan, other imagings usually done by gastroenterologist. Lab-wise, most times it's looking at organ functions, so liver function, pancreatic functions, bile acids. Sometimes there's stool labs. Naturopathically, I also use specialty labs from time to time when we are looking at not only digestion, but also other components of gut health, so things like gut microbiome, gut immunity, all that stuff. I'm going to save this and we're going to talk more as we go along in different episodes to really talk about those. And what are some tips on helping with digestion? Now, please note, this is not medical advice. Please, please, please talk with your healthcare provider, find yourself a naturopathic doctor, find yourself a specialist, someone who can guide you along. It may warrant for those investigations, those objectives that we were talking about. There are other, medications, supplements, other therapies that are available, but for the sake of our video, we're going to keep it into real doable wellness things. First, eating with no distraction. From time to time, we all do this, but no TV, no phone. Put any of those distractions down and really pay attention to your eating habits. Digestion works best when our nervous system and brain are in the state of rest and digest. Otherwise, that usually calls for a lot of that indigestion, a lot of that digestive symptoms that we were talking about. On that note, activating our vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is the one that really helps us to tap into that rest and digest. Vagus nerve runs alongside our necks here. So anything that kind of helps to vibrate or activate those, things like gargling, things like humming, singing, maybe even talking. Number 2, chew your food thoroughly. I know we also do this. If you are eating while working, don't do that. That still counts as that first point of distraction. With each bite, chew thoroughly. It also lessens the workload on your stomach when the food moves through. Number 3, consistent meals and no skipping meals. Unless you're doing some sort of fasting, that's the only exclusion. When we have disruption in our eating pattern, that can be disruptive actually for our digestive signaling as well. And lastly, eating a well-balanced meal, making sure that your plate has a good amount of proteins, good amount of fats, good amount of fiber. Digestion is the first part and foundation of everything else in gut health. It may sound really simple, but it's imperative that your body is able to break these foods down. In the next episode, we're going to go real deep into talking about absorption. So make sure to subscribe and follow along.